Hello, my name is Bosko Popovic. I'm an energy healing coach and a teacher. And in this video, I'm going to provide talk about the powerful life hacks that will actually help you to start the process of effectively dealing with any root causes of your ever-present negative thoughts. And anything that I've talked about in my previous videos about different techniques and ways with which you can actually start disrupting the flow of negative thoughts and basically swapping or flipping the script to your advantage as opposed to being disadvantaged as you might be at this particular moment. This particular life hacks are something that you are already fully aware of. But the question is, are you really paying attention, and do you really use and take proper notice and to actually implement these simple, well-known, and yet extremely important lifestyle sort of components, if you wish, that will actually help you to start to stabilize yourself at every level, notably physical, mental, spiritual, and energetic as well. So, what are these hacks that I would like to talk about and you're fully aware of? Well, they're very obvious. The number one and the most important one is effective relaxation. So I'm going to first list them, and then I'm going to go and then into more detail on each and one of them separately. The second one is the quality of the rest that you, such as sleep, that you actually have. And do you actually wake up in the morning refreshed or not? The third one is the quality of your diet, what you're eating, the quantities, times, and also the hydration level that you're actually monitoring, or if you're monitoring at all. And the last one, which I believe a lot of people actually do pay attention to, is the actual physical exercise. So these are the key components in your lifestyle that, as I said earlier, everybody seems to be aware of. But the question is, how many of you are actually fully paying attention to what you need to do to literally manage yourself as best as you can? Because any drop-offs in your intensity in terms of how you look after yourself or how you manage yourself at the physical level, and this is extremely important because we're talking about your body, is going to have a direct consequence on your emotional and spiritual and sort of your cognitive parts of your being. Which means that unless you are firing on all cylinders physically by being fully rested, relaxed, sort of the hydrated, proper nutrients and what have you, and of course going and basically working on yourself and on your body on a daily basis, at least walk or something of that nature. If not anything more than that, you can do the gym. Because those things combined will actually create a very good platform for you to start to work on yourself in terms of building different cognitive strategies in terms of protecting yourself at every possible layers. I already outlined it, but I'll repeat them again. So they are cognitive, which is your conscious thinking, your feelings, emotion level, which is part of the feelings, also the your energy levels, very important. I'll talk about it later. And with all that, we'll actually create the so-called proper conditions for your inner cells to divide, and in that way keep you healthy and in full running mode. So let's start from the beginning. The key aspect, absolutely the key aspect of everything is relaxation. So you may ask why, and I'm relaxing, I'm watching TV, I'm drinking what it is, wine or something like that. No, no, no. That's not relaxation. That is assumption of relaxation or perception of relaxation, but it is not relaxation per se. The true relaxation comes from you doing various deep breathing, stretching, in a coordination with the breath, and so on and so forth, exercises in where you are completely, through your cognitive faculties, controlling all aspects of your physical being, and where the end product of that is when you're feeling 100% relaxed, which means you're feeling very heavy on a physical level, but on the emotional level, you're feeling neutral, meaning you have no ups, you have no downs. You are in between and you're sitting there perfectly. So that means you are not being driven either down, which is having negative thoughts and what have you, or being up, being hyped up with some positive and whatever you might perceive to be driving you forward, because all of these are igniting a different set of chemicals in the body that are driving your body into the fight or flight, which is stress modes. So everything we're talking about here is counteracting the stress response. So you need to completely neutralize that and get yourself to what I call is a point zero, from which you are 100% neutral in everything that you do. 100% neutral. Mentally, what is more important is that you can actually reach the point, but it'll take you a long time to do that, but nevertheless, it is important that you start working so that you can get yourself to that level, is to be thoughtless. Meaning, the thoughts will always come into the conscious sphere of your awareness, but you are not going to engage with any of them. You are going to become an observer. In a 100% the meaning of the word observer. You will allow them to come into your cognitive screen and you will not engage with them. You will not bring them down and start working on them. No. You just watch them pass by, just like you watch the clouds in the air or in the sky. That's all you'll do. And when you reach that level of awareness, that level of ability, you then started to get what I call into the so-called point zero, which means you are now 100% neutral. And in this particular state, you now have the ability to completely, sanely, and with a great level of wisdom, basically observe anything that might be causing you some form of problems in this particular moment. So why is that important? We live a very fast lives. Through the speed that we are living, a lot of things are passing by and we're barely making a notice. And this is where the problem is, because the devil is in the detail. And slowing down all your mental and cognitive abilities gives you the opportunity to catch up on the details that will eventually give you a solution to whatever the problem you might be having at any moment in time. If you engage into the speed of life without doing what we're going to enroll here, you are effectively starting to become a victim of circumstances or being in the driving seat without being able to control what is actually going on. And if you're driving the car or motorbike or even a push bike, you know that if you're not in control, good luck to you, because anything can happen, but you will not be able to do anything about it, purely because you are now riding or driving at speeds from which there is very little that you can do to control that. So by purely reducing the particular speed of life and the process information that you do on a consistent basis, you are empowering yourself to be able to come up with the solutions in a much more efficient way than you would be if you continue to live your life on the fast lane. Now, this is when it comes to relaxation. That relaxation as well will then enable you to have a better quality sleep. Now, why is sleep important? Because basically your body is doing several key biological functions, of which one is detoxifying. And this is the key part that you have to be very, very careful about, because toxicity levels in the body are causing the acidity. The acidity is actually causing the reduction of the energy flows in the body, and with all that, what it creates is disruption of the proper energy flow in your inner and outer bioenergy fields. With that reduction of the energy flows, depending on the actual level of toxicity or acidity in your body, proportionally to that level of, let's call it pollution, in the body, that much in direct comparison or whatever, or equal way, it will be reduction of your energy flow in the body. With that much, your subcellular level or at your subcellular level will start the confusion, because there'll be no proper information coming from your outer energy field into your inner, your physical energy field that is necessary for your subcellular structure to reproduce correctly and to keep you healthy. The longer this particular condition or situation lasts, the more there is chance that it will start the process, first of all, of mental, emotional, and a spiritual deviation that, if not addressed in time, will lead to physical deviations. And it's not something that you would want to allow to happen to you, because there's an old saying, prevention is better than healing. So for that reason, apart from relaxation, rest is a very important part of your overall biochemical maintenance. Huge part of it. And there is no excuse for you not to pay attention to that, because at the end of the day, this is your body, that is your life. And if you want to have a good quality of life, you really have to resume the full responsibility of everything that you are doing to yourself, because whatever you're doing to yourself, you are going to basically experience back as, or you have a reflection of that in terms of the level of health that you will enjoy. The third one, which goes hand in hand with the rest, but on a different scale, is diet and hydration. Now, we all know about the diet. I'm not going to go too much about it, because I think there's so many videos that are actually talking about. All I will say is the acidity level that I talk about is directly in correlation with the quality of your diet. So, in very short and few words, anything that is man-made is not that good for you. That's very simple. Anything that's in card boxes or what have you, it's not good for you. Everything that's natural, all the greens and fruits and veggies and what have you, meat and all the dairy products and what have you, nuts and blah blah blah, that is good for you. Now, if you want to do more research on it, there's so much about it. You can go on different videos for the nutritionists. They will actually provide you a lot more good, better information than I can ever do. But paying attention to your nutrition is absolutely important, because the acidity gets particularly affected by negative thoughts, stress, and overall high sugar and fats, and also low water intake. So, in addition to your good, diet, you, at the same time, need to ensure that you are fully hydrated, because hydration levels not only help you to balance your acidity alkalinity levels, but it also enables the proper running of your inner organs and your overall body as a mechanical unit. Because don't forget, more than 80% of the body is water. So the water itself is the key constituent part of the body, and as such needs to be maintained in that particular way, as meticulously as you can. So pay attention to your diet and also to your good hydration levels at all time, because that will help you sharp cognitively, that will help you moving better, that will also help you to balance your weight, and at the same time it will keep your energy levels flowing, which is very, very important, and that will guarantee you health at all energetic levels. Very important. And the last bit that goes into this particular equation here is the levels of the physical exercising, because the body is a machine, and like any machine, it needs a movement. So the kinetic movement of the body allows for every single part of itself to breathe the so-called life. Why? Because the kinetic movement actually enables the movement of energy. And this all comes together with everything that I've said with the previous lifestyle components. They all together in conjunction are actually enabling the free flow of energy, and with that the proper workings of your inner organs, your endocrine system, your lymphatic system, digestive system, and your central nervous system. So everything works in a full cohesion. And that is what actually keeps you alive. That's what keeps you healthy. And that's what keeps you cognitively, emotionally, and spiritually in an excellent condition. So, when you actually start doing all these things, you are now actually creating an excellent platform to start implementing various techniques that I have shared with you in my previous emails concerning the dealing with the stress, and more importantly, the byproduct of stress, which is negative thoughts. So you might be asking yourself, why is coming this video later once I've shared with the previous techniques? It is simple, because you will not take this video with great level of seriousness if I did not share with you the previous techniques. So this is like when you're building the house. First of all, you need to select the land, a piece of land we're going to build it, and then do your geological analysis. So basically means whether the house will stay there erect once you start building it. Can you actually build the foundations? Will those foundations last? Which means they're not going to go in or whatever. So you need to know what is right below. And that is the key for you to then continue to do the work in order to build a house. And the same thing is here. This is exactly the same thing. You know what you want. You have all the ingredients to start the work and everything. But now you do your geological foundation. And this is what we are sharing here. And this is the most important thing, because without really making this lifestyle change and really sticking with this religiously, no matter what you do in terms of working on yourself cognitively, trying to improve any parts of yourself, you are not going to be able to do that, purely and simply because you are going to be overwhelmed with so much things coming at you at the same time that anything that you're trying to do on top of what you're already getting will just create a more pain. So in order to reverse all that, you need to start to empty some of the stuff that you don't need. And by changing and working on all aspects of your lifestyle is the key for you to start to empty this glass that you are, if you use that particular analogy. And because the water, which is called life, is coming to that glass all the time, whether you like it or you don't. But it's coming all the time, and it's coming mercilessly. And you're actually processing information at all times, whether you're aware of it or you're not. It's irrelevant. You are doing it. But as you're doing it, it leaves a certain mark on you. That mark is that everything inside you cognitively is processing that, and that's draining your energy. So in order for you to start to control that particular aspects of you, which is much beyond your control, you need to start doing something else. And this is the something else that actually contributes towards you effectively and through a different sideways, starting to control something that you really cannot control. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's what it is. And when you persevere doing these particular life changes, you will not see a big difference in the beginning. But if you persist and you continue working on it and you believe that this is the right thing, in certain space of time, you will start to see a critical improvement in the way you feel, in your energy levels, and everything else. And at that point, you then start to implement the cognitive strategies and exercises that are shared with you in the previous videos. And that is the actual icing on the cake. That will actually help you to start to move the needle in direction that you are looking to make the improvements. And this is going to be your big W once you start to gain that level of proficiency in what you're doing, in your personal improvement. But like anything, in order for you to start to move the needle, you need to start doing things that are a little bit more, I could say, out of order, less sexy, such as what I discussed with you here, which is the 4 lifestyle hacks that you can do, and do them correctly. And in time, the whole script of your life will start to take a different shape. So I believe that, or I hope that you have understood what I was trying to say or portray in this particular video. And if you have any questions, as always, please use the boxes below on your comments and let me know if there's anything I didn't explain correctly or what have you, and I will then come back to you with different answers. Or else you can actually contact me on my email, which is info@energy-savvy.com, and I will answer to you as soon as I can. Until next video, all the very best.